So I am here with the one and only Julian Goldie. We usually do these online.
Yep, that's true. It feels weird in person.
Yeah, it does. But there's a new series, and it's called 5 Minutes With, and you are the first guest. So we have got a sand timer here, which I will be setting after I have asked you the question.
All right, let's do it.
So, sand timer has been set. If you could only use ChatGPT for one thing in terms of, it could be SEO, it could be thumbnails, what would you use it for and how would you use it?
I would use it for Twitter. I would only use it on Twitter, ChatGPT, and basically what I would do is take my existing content from blogs or videos and then use that to get a lot of attention and turn it into like threads and social media posts, particularly on Twitter, because I know I can rack up I'm getting like 30,000 impressions a day on there.
Right.
So I know that if I was going all in on Twitter and I just had access to ChatGPT and I was rinsing that all day, probably get up to like 100,000 impressions a day on Twitter, and then that's reaching 3 million people a month. That's going to make a decent amount of money.
So you wouldn't use ChatGPT for example, content creation for your own blogs or anything like that? You think that the Twitter...
I think if you had to go from like 0 to 1 as quickly as possible and start making money, Twitter is probably one of the fastest ways to do it.
Right, okay.
Because like, for example, you could try and rank a website. All right, so let's say we had a race and it was like, right, who's going to make money the fastest? Is it the guy who's setting up a new website with ChatGPT, or is it the guy who's setting up a new Twitter account with ChatGPT? And I would say, honestly, you're going to get like thousands of impressions from day one if you have the right content on Twitter. Whereas we all know with SEO, it's a bit more of a long-term play, and therefore it's going to be a slower race to make money. So I think if I only had access to ChatGPT and I could only do one thing, it would be Twitter.
Right, okay. And where would you start with that? So let's say, for example, you have access to some pre-existing blogs, let's say.
Yep.
Would you be using prompts such as like, look at this article and rehash this for Twitter, or would you be kind of trying to mimic what's already working on the Twitter platform? So maybe you might look at other creators on Twitter and trying to rehash their tweets.
Yeah, so first of all, I'd figure out what I'm going to monetize it with, right? So for example, let's say you have a service and you're selling that service via your Twitter account. So on Twitter, you can get clients really quickly just by tweeting out and getting a lot of attention. The more attention you get, the more DMs you get, the more clients you're going to reach, right? So, for example, let's say you've got this blog and it's like 100 ways to make money with ChatGPT. Like, that's the blog that you've got. Yeah. What I would do is I would split that up with ChatGPT, like take the content, put it into ChatGPT, and then say, write me a thread, so like a 5-part thread. Write me a 2-step post, so something that people have to opt in on. Yeah. And then just chop it up in many different ways and repost it daily. So for example, like I would say something like, got this blog on 100 ways to make money with ChatGPT. If you want to make money fast, reply yes, and I'll send it to the first 10 people. And then typically those sort of posts, they get anywhere between 5 and 15K impressions for me. So if I send them to that post and they've opted in to see it, then I can make money, the service can make money, everything. And
then just on the Twitter growth, because I feel like we've kind of diversified here and we're not even talking about SEO.
It's not even SEO today. Yeah, we went off on a right random tangent.
But let's say for engagement and growing your Twitter, what's some strategies that people can do? Like, for example, I remember 5-6 years ago, a strategy that used to work, it doesn't work as well anymore, is you would kind of go and find the high influencers in that space, and you would start following all of their followers, and then you would unfollow any ones that don't follow you back. So it was kind of the follow-unfollow trick, some people used to call it. That doesn't work. But what's some ways that you can grow your Twitter?
I think the number one easiest way is to... and actually, one thing I would say just before we get into this is, like, I've found on Twitter that I can reach thousands of people, but it's not necessarily going to equate into followers. Yeah. So I'm focused like more on monetizing and generating leads from Twitter than actually growing the audience. But what I would say is the first way and the easiest way is to have like a 2-step post where people have to reply yes or comment ChatGPT or whatever it is to your post. And it'll be like, right, I've got this blog and it's like, right, I'm going to show you 100 ways to make money with ChatGPT. I'm going to show you 100 ways to make money with ChatGPT. It's free, it's easy to do, anyone can do it, and it will make you money fast. But I can only send it to the first 10 people, so reply yes if you want it, and that will just blow up.
Right.
And that's the sort of stuff that you can post. And then also you can get ChatGPT to generate an image. Like it could be some crazy face, for example, really bright, attention grabbing, and it's like an AI robot with like money all around it. And that image would grab people's attention as well. So that's the first way. That's the first method. The second method is to use threads. So a thread, you always need a hook at the start, right? So it's like, stop trying to make money the old way. Here's how you can do it. Read below to learn how you can learn to make money with ChatGPT really quickly, right? And then it will have like the thread icon. Yeah. And then that teases people's dopamine to keep reading on the rest of the Twitter post, so that they're more likely to actually read the rest of it. And if the more people engage with that post, the more time they spend reading it, the more likely it is to blow up. Right.
So thank you so much. The timer is finished, as you can see. I don't know if it's in focus.
That's not. After 15 hours of flying from Thailand here. So
thanks for joining me.
Yeah, appreciate it.